Welcome back, everyone, to the Undercover Brony, and this episode was awesome. What do you mean?
Just say your piece, and then we'll dissect
Dude,
it.
holy crap! This episode had a great Aesop. It was funny. It was charming. It was cute. Dude, this episode was so good.
This was -5. Okay, it wasn't -5 stars, but I had some opinions about the show.
Why don't you talk about your totally wrong opinion before we get on with this?
Ironic echo. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so look, Spike is the boy. Gen 5 Spike will never be as cool as Gen 4 Spike. He's my boy. He's my bro. I love Spike. Everyone loves Spike. We love Spike. DWK loves Spike. God knows the shippers still fighting the good fight on FinFiction love Spike. Everyone loves Spike. Anyone that says they don't love Spike, you're a liar. And honestly, you probably need to try to work out those issues you have with your father. So, needless to say, the idea of a Spike episode going back to the Badlands with his, I guess, main squeeze Smolder, or as I like to call her, Scaly
Squeeze?
Yeah, or as I like to call her, Scaly Scootaloo, or Scaloo.
Scaly Scootaloo.
Yeah,
that's genius.
Yeah, it's like Waterloo, Scaly. Okay, so I thought, okay, and then the episode, Fluttershy goes on. I'm like, okay, let me get it straight. Fluttershy, Smolder, and Spike. That's a trio I didn't know I'd need, but this sounds cool. And the episode peaked when they were traveling to the Dragonlands. And then they got to the Dragonlands. And then everything just dissipated for me. But we're a channel of positivity, so I will allow you to plead. I will allow you on your channel, on technically your show, to plead your case on your show.
Okay.
That, realistically, I'm technically just a guest host that never left. But because your actual co-host got cucked.
Okay, so basically, what I loved about this episode is I'm actually going back to what I told Snakeskin before we got this review started.
Yes.
So
I totally remember, I think.
I basically said, dude, you're going to love this episode. World building, humor, and a great Aesop. Those are the three things that I felt made this episode great.
And technically it had about 2 3/4 of those things.
Okay. So the episode starts off with Smolder talking to Twilight in the teacher's lounge, and I'm like, that is the most unusual teacher's lounge I've ever seen. It almost looks like Starlight Glimmer's like counseling room or whatever.
That place looks more fancy than the fucking White House.
I know, right?
The Oval Office doesn't look that snazzy. It's just got a sick window view and an American flag.
Yeah. And she's like, I want to go away
total power.
I'm just like, she's just like, I want to go away for a week. And Twilight's sipping her tea and I'll, you know, get a spit take in there somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
And she's just like, why do you want to be away from a week? It's like, well, my brother's been kind of like having issues since I left. So I want to, check up on him. And Spike's like, hey, that'd be fun and be a chance to go back to the Dragonlands. And it's like, and Smolder's just like, well, Dragon Lord Ember can't really help much right now because it's, dragon hatching season. And Fluttershy turns into the most adorable thing ever. She's just like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine their cute little heads popping up and all that.
She makes a so awesome face from
She makes a mean face.
Someone pulled up a picture. It's the exact same face. Two things. One, and this is way sadder than I mean it to be, but is that their way of bookmarking the show? Season 1, it started with Mean Face about quarter into the first season, and now it's going to end with Mean Face about a quarter through the season. And second, it really hit me. They really didn't repeat that face at all in 9 seasons, except for that one episode back in season 1. That is artistical merit if I've ever seen it. But yeah,
I know what you mean.
But yeah, Fluttershy is totally going guzu gavazvaz over the idea of cute baby eggs, and Spike's like, "Hey, Smolder," and Smolder's like, "Okay, you can come." My Little Pony.
Yeah, and so basically Twilight's like, well, I want you to write a paper, and Smolder's like, how many pages? I was actually talking to Fluttershy, but because I'm just like, yes, Twilight wants world building as much as I do. I approve.
Twilight always has been obsessed a lot with dragons, with Dragonland stuff. She's always jumped at every opportunity to go, but she's like never been able to go except for like once, twice, I don't know.
Yeah.
So and me, we were talking about because spoiler alert, they go to the Dragonlands. And they end up going their separate ways a bit because Smolder and Spike go off to find her brother. And Fluttershy's like, I want to see the babies. So she goes off to the hatching grounds. And Smolder's like, yo, Spike, chillax, brat. I'm gonna go find my brother. And who should show up? A fuckboy Garble. Him and his three bro hounds are like, what's up, dude? And Spike's like, God damn it. So
I could totally imagine Garble and his gang being like from California. That makes way too much sense.
Did you hear what one of them said when Smolder came back? Because Smolder came back and she's like, oh, what's up, Garble? And Spike's like, what? And his friends are like, hey, what's up? What's up? And then I swear to God, I replayed this like 9 times. One of Garble's dragon boys literally, I swear to God, he says the word, how's it scaling, brah? I'm like, what? I swear to God, he said that. Go back and look at it. The episode's on YouTube for some reason. At least I think it is. Every episode up until the last episode was somehow available on YouTube for free, but this one there was some issues. The last 2 there were some issues. Whatever.
Yeah, but I have to say one of the lines that I like here is where the big fat brown dragon. Well, I don't know his name, but the big guy. He's just like. Oh, being at Twilight's castle has made you soft. And I love that Smolder grabs him by the throat, forcefully pulls him down, and is like, want to find out? I'm just like, damn. I love how she's just like, want to find out, bitch? Just like, damn, Smolder. You remind me why I like you so much.
So, Garble is Smolder's brother.
And his nickname is Gargar.
I swear to Jesus, I've heard that before.
Here's
somewhere.
What's sad, though.
Beast Boy
it reminds me of my childhood. Because...
You were called Gargar?
No. When I was younger, when I was like 3 years old, my nickname was John John.
My nickname was, as a kid, was Loser.
Hey-oh.
So yeah, this is the point I was trying to make, but because I'm such a scatterbrained clusterfuck, I was trying to make earlier about predictability. I remember some folks talking, because I think Smolder mentioned offhand she had a brother, some earlier appearance, and people like, huh, what if it's Garble, LeMayo? And
it actually happens. It's like, LeMayo, what?
I feel like I should have seen it coming, though. Because realistically, I feel it's too late in the game for them to introduce any more new characters. So I thought if they don't do that, it's got to be an existing character. But I'm like, who's another prominent dragon? And literally, until I clicked play on the episode, 2 years I think she mentioned she had a brother. 2 years! Or a year ago, whatever. Yeah, a year ago, whatever. And sorry, I got my facts confused. It's been 2 years since Garble showed up. He showed up in a season 7 episode. I think that was that
since
Ember
he showed up
episode.
last.
Yeah. Since he showed up last, I'm
Yeah,
Smolder.
that
Okay,
was
so a year
the season
ago.
7 finale.
Yeah, so a year ago, Smolder mentioned she has a brother, and not until I click play on this episode on Daily Motion, I realize, wait, what if it's fucking Garble? And it was Garble, and ah, Gar.
It's like that one Vine video where that one guy's just like completely straight faced when he's laughing.
So, like, here's my issue, everybody. Okay, the subplot about the eggs was neat. And like a pretty serious issue. I genuinely felt like that could have been its own episode because hey, children aren't being born. But this plot with Garble, this is what kind of bugs me. Is the next 6 minutes of screen time is literally Spike like, hey, Garble, no hard feelings, right? I mean, you've been an asshole to me ever since I fucking met you. But hey, I'm willing to bury the hatchet. We're all cool, right? And Garble's just like, huh, you gay, lol. And Smolder's like, now Gar. And I'm like, dude, get your friends back. And like, he literally, I swear, I think he smacked him around too, but he's like berating him and abusing him in front of Smolder. And not once in this episode did Smolder even say the sentence or something akin to, hey, he's just trying to help you. No, she's just like, Gar. And then Garble is like, to call me Gar in public. The next 6 fucking minutes of this episode, it's just Spike tries to bond with Garble. Garble abuses him. Rinse and repeat. Fluttershy with the eggs. Fluttershy indirectly asks Ember if she laid all of these eggs herself.
And I love that line. She blushes and it's like, what? No, none of these are. And I'm thinking, oh boy, the Clop community is gonna have a field day with that one.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, I have to watch over the eggs, but that doesn't mean I gave birth to them or anything, baka. So like, it just goes on, and then twice I think in this show, 3 times maybe, but twice in this episode, Garble's friends get a clear-ish view to Garble's sensitive side or whatever because he's hanging out with Spike and his sister. And right when Smolder shows up, they're like, yeah, Garble's been real mopey since you been gone. And he's like, huh, no, I'm not like sensitive or empathetic. I'm a sick alpha.
I'm sound like Vincent Tong there doing Garble's voice. Like, holy shit.
He's like, I'm such a sick alpha. I could have been a baby boomer. So,
dude, he's like the beta male that Adam Conover keeps talking about. I swear. And then Fluttershy is trying to, Fluttershy's whole purpose was to give a reason you suck speech and also be the most adorable thing on God's given earth in animated form. Okay. And Celestia is given Equestria. And like she sings to him, she's singing him, she's reading him nursery rhymes, the whole 9 yards. And I feel like you have a point to make. So the only part I'm gonna leave out left is that they're both doing such a shit job, they switch. Now, a couple things I want to mention here, because again, like always, I have notes.
And I have tropes.
So when...
Hey, that'd be a great name for a podcast, Notes and Tropes.
Right? Right? Welcome to the podcast of Notes and Tropes.
That's Notes, I'm Tropes. Let's list shit.
So... funnily enough, my shit is bullet pointed, so it's like, yeah, I got a list.
Yeah, Samsung Note, baby.
But basically, so when Spike gets knocked into the lava and does that belly up thing, like the what I forget what you call it when you land belly first. Yeah, when he belly flopped.
Yeah, belly flop.
And he keeps talking about how I hate when I get water in my nose and I'm not sure what could be worse. I haven't found it yet. And then he goes down and swallows lava and he's like coughing it up and all that. I'm just like, dear God, it's bringing back horrific memories of when I did that shit.
I'm just trying to think. I was just thinking to myself, so is lava just chlorine to them?
I don't know, but it's the kind of thing where, like, when I was younger, my whole thing was I would be coughing and hacking and all that because I would accidentally swallow water when I was learning to swim when I was like 5 or 6. And I specifically remember being over the side, like where I'm at the side of the pool, and I'm just like, and I'm like almost making that gagging noise.
You know you had a childhood if you almost drowned more than several times in your life and had an inner ear infection from too much chlorine in the pool. Hoo-wee!
I already got swimmer's ear. I got that shit every day.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. I gotta say, Spike giving Garble a red velvet and him throwing it away, I'm like, that is wasted food. Number one. Number two, red velvet is fucking delicious. Don't you dare fucking say it's not.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to be quirky, but is it wrong that was one of the most reprehensible things he done was tossing away the red velvet?
Yeah. And I love how this whole time Spike actually keeps going, I will be the bigger dragon. I will be the bigger dragon. I will be the bigger dragon. And I'm like, first of all, thank you. And second of all, that actually makes Spike still relatable.
Yeah, because like Spike, I too know what it's like to have to force yourself to be the nice guy, no matter how much that the universe, it seems like it's stacking the odds against you. God damn it. Yeah. You know a thing or two about that too, don't you?
Yeah.
So eventually
when they switch,
fantastic.
One of my favorite lines is when Fluttershy screams, "Enough!" and it gets all of them to just drop their lava balls. I'm like, yes. She made their balls shrink in that moment.
No, she made their balls drop.
Oh my God. It's like that one Nostalgia Critic joke where it's like, this is turning me into a man. All of a sudden you hear 2 balls drop and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, you just hear like, dunk, dunk. So, and this is fantastic right here. So, they switch jobs and Garble runs off with his sister. And Fluttershy follows. And it's discovered what Garble's secret passions is, his sensitive side. What I can only assume is his house, or maybe as far as dragons are concerned, that's a studio apartment. I don't give a shit. I just know he has a pair of rock bongos, I think it was a raspberry beret, and a dumb, goddamn stupid piece of shit striped colored shirt. And he's whacking them bongos. He's saying some shit like it's a drunk Henry Rollins on open mic night, and it hits me. His sensitive secret passion is that he's just a San Francisco street performer. What?
Honestly, though,
real?
Honestly, though,
crap, man bun wearing, virtue signaling beta male of a cock. 9 years, John. I have had to watch him torment my boy, be probably the second most one-dimensional bad guy in a fanfic in this show, except for like Prince Blue Blood. And I had to watch him be this conniving asshole. He tried to burn Ponyville. Him and his friends mostly, almost killed these dragon eggs. They tried to kill Spike and sabotage Ember in that Dragon Lord race. And you're telling me that I'm supposed to care about this guy because he's 2 years, he's like 2 years away from writing a self-help book? Really?
Now,
I was so angry. I was so angry.
Okay, here's the thing. Do you think that instead of bongos and snapping, if he had a rap beat, it would actually make things a whole lot better?
Oh, I don't give a shit about the bongos. This pissed me off, but it's what happens next that pissed me off. So Spike is with Ember, and he's like, "Hey, see that girl I'm with? She's younger than you. Just saying, you're missing out."
Here's what's funny, though.
On DWK's favorite scaly son.
Here's what's funny, though. Okay, another one of the best lines of this episode. Because Fluttershy, when she was with the eggs, kept going like, "Gitchy, gitchy." Ember tries it. Getting pissed off at the end. It's like, I said Gucci. Hi, Ember. Oh, hi, Spike.
And like,
I said Gucci, go.
So Spike's with Ember, and they find out, hey, those retards that Gar hangs out with are separating the lava from the egg pit, and the eggs are freezing to death. They don't say that. They just say it's not warm, but they're literally shivering. That's what we forgot to mention. The eggs are shivering throughout the episode.
Yeah, and they're not hatching.
Yeah, they thought they were scared or nervous or something. No, they're freezing. So they seal off the lava.
They're watching Ice Age, the meltdown.
So, but it's still not warm enough.
They're watching Scrap trying to still get his goddamn acorn.
So they set off they separate the lava, but it's still not warm enough. These children are in, and isn't it funny that the episode about children not being able to be born comes out like a week after this shit with Alabama happens? I just feel like that's funny on a cosmic level. So
topical tab.
Topical.
So now I gotta wonder though. There's a couple other things I want to mention here in my notes. Garble says he's a beat poet, and Fluttershy's like,
"Oh, I wanted to shoot myself."
And Fluttershy's like, "I totally dig." Do you think that Fluttershy is trying to say that Garble, yeah, you're a cuck, but I don't give a shit?
Jack Kerouac and all of Haight-Ashbury is rolling in their acid-lined graves. They're LSD linened coffins. So Spike yeets off because he's like, "Dude, I was looking everywhere for you guys. We need your help." So he tells them.
Now, before this, when Fluttershy is talking about how expressing yourself is not a bad thing, and they're not true friends if they aren't, I love how Smolder's like, "For a pony without a horn, she sure has a point." And I'm thinking, you made a damn SpongeBob reference. Do you remember with Doodle Bob? And it's like where SpongeBob breaks the magic pencil, and he's just like, "Looks like we've ended in a draw." And then Doodle Bob puts the damn pencil in his mouth and makes another sharpens the pencil, and SpongeBob's like, "You've made your point."
Oh, that was a SpongeBob reference, but I mean, I could see the connotation. Mm-hmm. So he shows up with them, And they're like, dude, we gotta get these eggs to hatch. And then
because the 3 cockheads, that is his gang, have been pulling water, or not pulling water, pulling lava out from underneath the eggs. That's why they're shivering, because the ground's not warm. Because these fuckheads have been wanting to have a hot tub all to themselves. Amber's pissed.
Rightfully
like,
so.
How long have you been doing this? A while. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God, you fucking morons.
You freaking fricks. When will you learn that your actions have consequences? So, and this is when this episode lost hope for me. The next sequence of events over the next 2 minutes, 24 seconds did nothing but infuriate me. So first off, they show up. And instead of being worried about the fact that the eggs are too freaking cold, the 3 tards that Garble associates with, they're like, oh, hey, look, it's baby Spike. You're going to need us a blankie? And then this shit happens. They laugh. And they don't just laugh. They're howling with laughter. They are following. And the flames, their fire changes color the more that they laugh, which apparently equates to a hotter temperature.
Their laughing fire acts like real fire.
Okay, John, you have a much better memory than me. At any point since 2010 has it been implied that dragons could do that?
No.
Exactly! So that happens.
I'm just curious, why are you hung up on that?
Because
here's the thing. It was foreshadowed at the beginning of the episode when they were laughing and it burned the security blanket. They were laughing different colors.
Because 1, it was never introduced before. 2, Deus Ex Machina, which, okay, whatever, they need to save some lives. But 3, it's the way that it transpires next. So Garble goes off screen, gets his bangos, he gets his hat, he gets his raspberry beret, and his stupid goddamn striped sweater. Because the best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time. And now that's a SpongeBob reference. And he proceeds to do the lamest beat poetry you've ever seen. And all the dragons are laughing. They're yucking it up. They're changing colors. They're like, it's like they've forgotten, oh, hey, these kids aren't being born. Let's laugh at the dragon who's not acting quote unquote like a dragon. So he's doing their dumb thing and this and that. And yay, the dragons can be born. Here's the resolution. Throughout the episode, I was getting a vibe that, okay, the friends Garble's been with throughout this whole show, he's probably not going to be friends with them no more because they were being diminutive towards him and his true personality. They were being toxic and holding him back. No. And I'm fine with them still being friends. Here's my thing. They didn't even apologize. They were like, hey, man. First off, they didn't apologize for, almost killing the dragon eggs. But they didn't even say sorry. They're like, "Hey man, can you teach me how to be beat poet?" And I'm just like, "Oh, screw you."
That part I agree with. That was stupid.
If you weren't gonna split them up, you should have at least give them 30 seconds. That's long enough in a television show to give an adequate apology.
Here's the thing, though. Has it ever, since 2010, has it ever been shown that dragons give a shit about anything other than themselves? Why would they care about the dragon eggs not hatching? They would be laughing at the cuck dragon rather than caring about the eggs. That's in their nature.
But ever since 2010, have the dragons not been the most inconsistently developed thing in the show?
In a way, yes.
They don't talk about them for at least they show up like once every other 2 seasons, and that's the only time we get a hint in the dragon culture. And as we learned with Ember and Smolder, and of course Spike, it's easy to see that that what Garble and them are doing, they're what's the term? The rule, not the exception, or something. I don't know. I don't know. My point is, and I don't usually get hung up on stuff like this, but it was a combination of things. I didn't like how the moral was executed. I really didn't like that Garble. Here's another thing. Fluttershy gave him the reason you suck speech, which, okay, it's always awesome to see Fluttershy get assertive. It's hot. But, like, Garble didn't apologize to Spike. He didn't thank him. Smolder barely had his back. And I just thought that it was a lousy payoff to essentially 8 seasons of buildup to have this big revelation about Garble's character and him end up not resolving anything actually with Spike. And we're still supposed to sympathize with Garble. Even though IMO, he gave us no adequate reason whatsoever to really feel that way. At least I don't think. I wasn't empathizing with the guy. I empathize with Zephyr Breeze more than this guy.
I mean, I guess it's just the sort of thing that you were talking about. Other character design, or their character arcs are like inconsistent. Here's the thing, though. They've at least gotten the baseline down every time where the dragons are dicks.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, and then when you learn in Gauntlet of Fire that they do have some sort of like hierarchy, but did we really need anything more than that? Like what? Like all I'm asking is like, what sort of development would you have liked to have seen to make this episode more bearable to you?
Look, feelings on the Dragon Lore side, all I wanted was for Garble's friends to actually apologize to him and Garble to actually apologize to Spike. Disregarding everything else, those are my 2 main things. And because his beatnik design looked stupid.
Okay. So part of the reason you didn't really like this episode was your culture of the culture of California. And also the fact that there were no apologies for anyone.
I mean, look, it's like, and I don't know, the story just kind of felt, I was sort of looking for it. It wasn't that the pacing was weird, but the structure almost felt kind of weird. Like some things that felt too long, some things that were long felt some things felt too long, some things felt too short, and I don't know. There was a couple story structure things, but I don't know. I just feel like that the Garble plot didn't have a satisfying payout, and I feel like the Dragon Eggs plot could have been a dope plot, but I feel like it needed either more focus or, well, then again, I'm not saying it should have had its own episode or it shouldn't have been there at all, but it sometimes just felt kind of there until the climax. I mean, it was a serious issue, but I don't know. This episode had me feeling weird.
Okay. So what would you rate this then?
Lower than the 3rd episode of this season. I know that. What'd I give that one? I gave that
which one?
The episode that was right after the premiere that starred the Young Six.
Oh, I don't remember the exact number, but you gave it like a 6.5 or something, I think.
I gave that one a 6.5?
I think so, something like that.
I must have, because I don't even remember it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 6.25, mainly because I really just did. Maybe maybe I'll rewatch it again. Maybe I'll change my opinion. But the payout, the lack of payout for this episode just was really sour with me.
Okay. So then, what would you rate it then?
I gave it 6.25.
6.25. So 6.25.
Yeah, it's still better than Three's a Crowd, but
Wow, dude. I actually give this one a 9. I really liked this episode, which is it's weird because this is like you were saying when we were talking before. This is definitely the inverse of Rarity Takes Manhattan. You thought that that Rarity Takes Manhattan was phenomenal, and I thought it was just okay. And then now I think this episode's phenomenal, and you're thinking this is just okay.
Huh. I guess we've come full circle.
In that way, yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Ugh.
So next week's episode is kind of interesting. It's an Apple Family episode.
Gen 5 is gonna love us.
It's called Going to Seed. Or no, that's the 10th episode. Where is...
No, that should be the next one. This was episode 9.
It was? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. For some reason, I thought we were on episode 8 or something. But episode 10 of season 9 is called Going to Seed. And the synopsis says, Applejack's plans for an orderly harvest go awry when Apple Bloom becomes obsessed with catching a magical creature she thinks can help them.
Hold on, that took a jump. Oh, I want this nice harvest. I need to chase an elf. Okay, I didn't say an elf, but still.
Honestly, is it weird that I'm thinking she's going to try and find Twitter mites?
Oh God, that would be fantastic if they brought them back.
Or at least if they reference them in some way.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine with how far the animation quality's gone? They could do some real cool shit with those things.
Yep. So, until next time, that's it from me, John.
And me. Thanks, Gown.
And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Adios.